And we have so much bread that we're pretty much hitting the pantry cap every time. So I'm going to increase. We could upgrade this to level 3. It's going to increase the amount of bakers that we have, which we don't need. But the pantry storage would be nice. But anyways, I just added another granary worker. And hopefully that's enough. Yeah, they're just zooming across the water, picking it up and going right back. That's kind of nice. We've got a real healthy supply of wheat for the year. Oh, and we're getting raided. And we're getting taxed. Yeah, we're about 400. And we have another 40 or 50? No, 16 in here. And then 40 waiting right here. So that's another 40 times 4. So 160, something like that. So we'll have plenty of bread for the year. And then looking at our other supplies, 440 cabbage, that's more than we need. Almost 200 pears. That might be short a little bit, but that's really, really good compared to what we were getting before. And then 41 pork. I think pork will always kind of just barely be enough. But once we start slaughtering the other animals, the sheep, which you can see here, we're already up to 40 lambs. So that's going to grow really fast. But once these are getting up to a decent number, we'll start cutting them up. Anyways, where is this raid coming from? Pretty close, so we'll have to get out there. Let's just do it right now. All right, here they come. We should be getting some good volleys off on these guys. Let's go ahead and rotate this unit up. This one can kind of come out a little bit. I think these guys are probably going to wrap before they even get to us. We're very close to it. And then we're going to get hit from the top. Yep, they're coming up from here. Yeah, there he goes. He's gone. Slide these guys over a little bit more. Right, yep, it broke right as they got to us. So they can't really do anything to us at this point, so I'm probably going to edit these raids out. Yep, there's another one down. What I might do is I kind of want to build a castle and see how we can defend it. I know it's not going to be all that interesting, but you can't really get the Baron to attack your castle anyways. It's really hard because they choose territory that's not even close to where you're building, unfortunately. Yeah, so they didn't even reach your lines, so just a complete slaughter. Anyways, that's another one down. Yeah, we just paid 1,124 in taxes, so that was basically like 2/3 of our bank account. So we need to step up our game, and then in a few years, this is going to go up to about 1,600. Yeah, something like that. So we got to be ready for that. Let's set up another set of crops because we have a decent amount of people, and we don't have very good jobs for them. So we'll put another 6 down here, I think. 6, that'll still give us 8 to play around with. And we'll probably increase our population anyway, so we need to keep growing. So let me get these set up. Okay, got them all set up. Now we just need to build these over here. We still have everybody employed in the other places, so they're going to rush over here to finish these fields off. But we'll have 2 new farmhouses when the actual harvest happens. So they should be in this area and be able to take care of that. And because it is a huge pain in the butt to remember to do all this stuff, I'm going to just import the oxen. So let's take another 10. I think we have room for at least 10 more. Yeah, we have room for at least 10 more. So I'm just going to have the family bring it in over time instead of me having to remember every single month on the dot to order a new one. And yeah, you can see almost our entire farming labor force is here trying to get it done. As fast as possible. This is going to be a waste for this year, but at least we'll have it set up and we can see how it runs. If we need to adjust, we can adjust. So June, July, August, September. So yeah, we have a few more months and then we'll see how well it does. So 3 in each of these. That's 6 total. 6 should be more than enough to handle these fields, plus 4 oxen. And I think it's finally time to upgrade because this guy's not able to keep up. I don't think. It's not that bad. We have 124 to go and we're producing about 45 a month. So there's still going to be some leftover. I'd rather get it all the way down to 0. So let's go ahead and upgrade this. Do we do the duplex or the burgage plot level 3? We have everything we need, so I think burgage plot 3 is the right call. That'll still double the occupancy, but it'll also give us more money. All right, here we go. Harvest season. Let's see how well they do. All right, yeah, the nice thing is these people, well, shoot, they're picking pears. So they're not going to be doing a whole lot of harvesting. What about these guys? Yeah, same. I had a feeling that might happen, but nobody's really harvesting this stuff. This is all getting harvested. They'll get out there when they're done, but they do need to collect all the pears. So maybe halfway through the month. Because these are duplexes at level 3. Oh, dude, again with the freaking rain, man. It just rained too. I was paying attention. It rained right last month, like in the middle of last month. Well, there goes half of our stuff. Looks like the harvest is still pretty strong though. 174 wheat so far. We still have a lot to go. All right, 10 days. Can we knock all this out? I think part of the problem here is we just have so many people that are doing both. So they're trying to get the pairs. Oh, wow. We're getting 120 pairs. 97, 120, 83. And this one on the end is a little lower. 43. Yeah, I think we need to throw more labor at this one. Just because we have a lot of people down here that they're trying to harvest two things at once. It's just not going to work. So if we put more labor, I think it'll be good. Or we just build extra housing over here. Extra housing that won't do any job other than farming. So we could have some more meat. Maybe some more meat production. Yeah, we lost a lot of the crops right there. But it doesn't matter. We have more than enough. Look at that. 300, almost 400 barley, 700 flax, and over 200 wheat. So we're going to be sitting pretty nice. And our sheep are coming in pretty fast. So if we're at 43 sheep and 46 lambs. So like I said, in maybe 1 or 2 more years, we'll be, I don't want to say we'll be maxed out, but a lot of these pastures will be full. I think once we get, oh, what happened? We have too many animals. Too many animals. Let's build another hitching post here. So I think we'll set it. I don't know what the limit is on the region, but maybe around like 100, 150, and then anything above that we'll slaughter. Not as lambs, but as sheep. So we'll let the lambs grow up, and then we'll cut the sheep when they get to that limit. So that means I don't know how much our butcher is going to get to do, but it's going to be a lot. And that'll also qualify for another food source. So right now, meats, we have pork, but we'll also get another meat, which is going to be the lamb. So that'll be 2 for that. Grains, vegetables, foraged goods. I don't think we're going to get another one of those. And I'm not redoing the fruits, so we're just going to leave that. We can get shoes, though. We can get another set of shoes. That'll make these people happy. Getting rated again. Oh yeah, we're not showing these because it's way too easy. But what I do want to figure out is how we're going to fix our labor issues. So we do have a lot of labor. It's just, unfortunately, a lot of it we can't really use during specific seasons. So I do want to put up housing that's specific for the farmhouses. If we have 6 families here, that would be 3 single family homes taken up to tier 3. So why don't we do that? We can start replacing these. Is there something that we're supposed to put in here? Yeah, flax. We could build it right here. That would take up some of the bakery area. I don't think we need much more for the bakery, though. This thing can handle a massive, massive amount. The only thing we might want to have another one of is the windmill, but even then, I really don't think that's necessary. I think this thing can pretty much handle anything we throw at it. So yeah, we probably don't need this area. We just need a very small area to process the flour. Worst case scenario, if we need another one, we could just build this exact thing duplicated down here or something. I don't know. Yeah, why don't we do that? Let's get single families. We'll get 3 of them, and then they'll also produce pork. So what I'm going to do is go around and replace these workers at all of the farmhouses. So anytime we see a farmhouse, like these are probably okay. I'm assuming these people live right here. So if we check these out, where are you working? Yeah, farmer, farmer, farmer. A lot of these are farmers. So these are probably okay. We need some housing over here, a little bit right here, and right here. And so that'll increase our population a little bit, but I think it's probably okay. We have plenty of supplies to deal with it. Speaking of which, yeah, 337 pairs. That's more than enough to deal with what we need to deal with. The only thing we're short on right now, I think, is meat. But like I said, that's not going to be an issue because we're about to chop up these sheep soon. Yeah, we've got 100 between the sheep and lambs. We have 105. It's insane how fast that goes. Anyways, I'm gonna deal with this this raid, and then we'll start building some houses. Yeah, let me get a few more up here, making sure we're not covering up good farming area. I don't think most of this stuff is though, so we should be good. Yeah, another one broken. They barely reached our line. They basically died before they got there. So, right, clean this up. You know, I did have a thought. What if we were to convert some of these veggies into some other kind of veggies? If that would help. So foraged goods, vegetables, grains. I guess we'd have to produce 2 types of bread here to satisfy that. I don't really want to do that, although I guess we could. We'll have 2 types of meats. So two types of meats, 2 types of veggies, 2 types of garments. That'll make a pretty big difference. We're not going to have everything perfect. We'll be missing, well, animal produce. Interesting. No, we're not going to be able to get that in here. There's no way. I was going to say we could change some of these backyard extensions to goats. That's a chivon, milk, chivon, and hides. We don't really need that though. We could also do the chickens, eggs, and another type of meat. So that would actually be meat and animal produce. This grain thing is brutal though. Why would you Why would you need 2 types of breads? I guess, yeah, I guess they want variety. Okay, well, let me think through that, because we could just build an area where all we do is farm up that type of bread. Maybe, I don't, yeah, maybe not. I really don't know. It could be like 2 years rye, 1 year fallow, so that it can recover fast. Because these recover without going fallow. As long as you leave it alone for 2 years, it kind of regenerates on its own. So I wonder if that's a thing. Maybe we'll try that. Maybe we'll do an area over here, just in the middle of nowhere. We'll do some fallow and rye only, and then we'll have a small bakery, and then just ship it back here to the middle. Yeah, we could try to satisfy everything. I already know for sure this is way too much cabbage, so that we could probably change. We could probably get away with doing that. So do we want to do that? We could switch it to the next highest, which I believe is carrots. Yeah, let's do it. Whatever. I don't really care. So back to vegetable garden. We'll do this outer one, vegetable garden, and then we'll have them plant some carrots. And just to see if it helps, I don't know if it makes a difference or not. And these guys are still collecting. Yeah, they're collecting carrots, any of the veggies, so they'll collect all those. And then the next set of trees that we get, we might have to do another kind. I'm not deleting these for sure, because these took forever to grow. So yeah, we'll have to make a new area. We could, yeah, we'll maybe use this right here as another type. That looks really small though. Right, these are all upgraded to tier 3, and that actually puts us at a large town, so we're maxed out for settlement. Not that that does anything now, but pretty cool that we made it. Only took us 13 years. I'm pretty sure you could do that in like 5 years or 6 years, something like that. But obviously we weren't really pushing tier 3. So yeah, we'll get these upgraded with the pigs so that we can produce more meat. And then I'm hoping all of these laborers got swapped out, because I really don't want the apple orchards to be doing farm duty. They can do just about literally anything else. There we go. So 3 pigs. We need a couple more families, but those are pretty much done. These are getting there. While we're waiting for them, let's go ahead and do the pig upgrades. Still need people to move in there. We should have now only 1 migration per month. What are we negative? Food variety and taxation. Can't do anything about taxation. Food variety we shouldn't be having issues with. Let me see. We're getting kind of close to our limit here, so why don't we upgrade? We'll put 1 more worker here in the large granary. Also, let me clear... no, let's wait till we have all the people. We'll make sure that we assign these people. I'm pretty sure they're farmers. No, they're not actually. Granary. Yeah, we don't want that. And gravedigger, so we don't want that either. So we'll have to manually do these, but that's not that big of a deal. And then let's double check how many of these people are farming. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, pretty much everybody here is farmer, except for a handful of these people. Tavern keeper, that's fine. And then these guys are miners, farmers, forager, and miner. Okay, so that's fine. We definitely need some more right here as well, though. And then these guys need to get occupation. We'll get it fixed. We'll get it fixed. So I don't want to just keep throwing labor at it, because I don't feel like labor was the problem. It was the timing. And if we have more of these people that shouldn't be doing that, going there to help, I think it's just gonna, it's not gonna work. I think it's gonna make it worse. Or it's gonna be a very huge increase in labor for a very marginal increase in efficiency. Whereas if we do it like this, it's a very small increase in labor force, but it's a huge increase in efficiency, I feel like, or hopefully. So we need these 2 to have people move in. We'll deal with this one as well when it's done. It looks like most of our pairs have come in as well. So these look like they're pretty... Oh, that's what we're getting issues. So loss of approval because we don't have enough meat or fish. So yeah, we need to get on that quick. But anyways, the pairs have come in. Looks like they're all pretty big size. These are basically the same as this. So hopefully that is all of our pear or all of our fruit issues for a very long time. We need to get another source of fruit, but we'll deal with that another time. I think we'll save this area for more veggies, because we did take away some of our cabbage, so we might need to add some more. I don't know if if this is going to be enough carrots either, so we'll add a few down here. This is a very small area too. Maybe we'll do another veggie like in this little corridor right here. It's not too far from our central area. So I think as long as we keep doing everything concentrically around this area, not too far from our city center, I think we'll be all right. All right, so it looks like these are both fully occupied. So 2, 2, and 2, that's perfect. We're gonna kick these people out, and then we are going to come in here and reassign. You're working there, you're working there. Grenade worker, you're working there. Weaver, yeah. Herder, yeah, we'll have to redo that. That's fine. We'll get more people working. So farmer. So these guys are good. We shouldn't have to change them at all. That took away some of our labor here at the sheep farm. That's fine. And then also, which granary did it take away from? It took the pear. Yeah, we had a pear farmer. Or yeah, we had 2 in here. So let's get a second one back. And then 2 more of these guys. And we might have to do it again once we get these, but that's fine. We'll figure it out. So let's get these upgraded. And that's 6 more pigs as well. So that should help with the meat. I added 6 more people to the tailor. Well, not the tailor, but basically anything that has to do with fabric. So linen and yarn. We're starting to get a bit of a backlog here. We probably need to upgrade the tailor shop as well. I don't think he can keep up. It's just too fast. It's too much material to deal with because we have July, August. Yeah, we have 2 more months and we're going to have another harvest. And we still have 174 and 27 to deal with. And then these guys aren't really processing it. So let's go ahead and upgrade this. This should double our output here. Also, I think this guy needs to go up. But let's just upgrade both of these. And we're getting raided again 5 days or, yeah, 8 days before we have to harvest, unfortunately. But it's all right. Deal with it. And then these houses are all level 3 now. So we're just waiting for one more person to come in and then we can reassign these 2 farmhouses. And then we'll build another 2 houses here, or 3 houses. Get that sorted. Go. Let's deal with these idiots. We're almost maxed out. You can see everybody's short just by a single troop. So we're pretty much there. All right, it's going to be close. We might actually be able to finish these guys off before harvesting season. We have 3 days and they're pretty much here. Yep, here they come. So I'm hoping for a very, very quick battle. There we go. Big volleys. They're getting shredded. And then, of course, we'll go ahead and extend our line here. Make sure we don't get flanked. All right, how much time? 2 days. There we go. They broke. Where's that other one? These guys are trying to flank wide. They're going to instantly break, I bet. Yep, they broke. All right, one more. Yep, that's it. Sweet. Go back and do some farming. Hell yeah. We got 1.5 days to spare. And we do have spare labor we can throw at the... Oh, you know what? Do we have all 6? We are short by 1. Okay, let me do this now so that we don't have to worry about it later. Weaver, Gravedigger. Yeah, we're going to have to reassign that. Gravedigger, Gravedigger, Gravedigger. All right, that's easy. At least we know where they are. Okay, here we go. It is harvesting. And did we get another person? No, I think he went to our tailor workshop. It's all right. We'll get him later. Okay, we still need to pick up corpses, so let's get those guys back on there. And of course, right on cue, right during our harvest, it's raining again. Love it. On the bright side, we don't have everything off the field yet, so it's only getting rained on for a part of our harvest, so that is helping. All right, let's see. How are these guys doing? What are they doing? Yeah, I should probably assign them to come down here. It's just, last time I did that, it didn't work very well. Yeah, they're really not doing the fields that I want them to do. We'll have to wait and see at the end. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near everything. So yeah, this is not good. We're going to have a good harvest, but we're not getting everything, I think. All right. Yeah, we have 4 days left. We're just barely starting it right now. So we'll get some of this. Nowhere near what it should have been. I don't know what these guys were doing all the way up there. So I think maybe these specific ones need to be down here. We need to assign them. Yeah, look at that. We wasted so much of that time. So I'm going to go ahead and limit their work area. Let's have them focus on just this area and see if that helps. I don't think we need to do that in the other area because everything's kind of close to each other. I don't know. Maybe we do need to still do it. This guy's ready to go. Unassigned. You be a farmer. So these are perfectly assigned. I'm going to do the same thing right here. Let's just do it because we didn't get everything from this area either. There we go. So these should be handled by themselves. All these other ones can handle everything in the center, I guess. We'll see if that helps. It also should help because we're going to add some more housing right here. Let's do that right now. There we go. We'll get 3 houses for these 2 farmhouses. That should be good for there. Oh, nice. Stock damage by the weather again. Beautiful. So we got hit twice this time. How much did we get off the field though? 162 wheat. So we're light on the wheat this year. Barley seems okay and flax seems okay. Yeah, the wheat was a little light compared to last year. Or maybe it wasn't. No, I think wheat usually comes in lighter than the other 2 anyways, because you can get 4 bread for each one. And how much bread do we still have? We have 224 bread in stock, so that's not really that big of a concern. That doesn't even consider that we have all these sheep just waiting to get slaughtered soon. I think what I need to do is just go through and fix all of our labor. I'm going to kick everybody out of all these granaries and storehouses, and I'm going to make sure that everybody down here is only assigned to that type of job, because this caught a decent amount of these people as farmers. So weaver, gravedigger, tavern keeper, those are fine. Fire cutter, no big deal. But if you look up here, I had like 3 farmers. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 farmers. These guys, not as big of a deal, but they're still, I'd rather them not be farmers. Weaver. See, this is good. Malt house worker, that's good. Those can be delayed a little bit while they harvest. But the absolute worst case scenario is these guys doing double duty. They have to get their fruit off the trees because they only have 1 month to do it. And then you only have 1 month to get all the harvest. So they spend half the month here and the other half running, and then maybe like 2 or 3 days picking off the field. It's just not efficient at all. So what we'll probably do is just clear everybody out. We'll make sure we upgrade these. So like these houses can feed to these farms pretty easily. So there's a farmhouse here, 2 here. So we need at least 9 families. That's fine though. We probably already have enough for that anyways. What else? Yeah, these will be taken care of by this. We can get another couple houses over here if we need to, but I don't think we need it. I could probably feed these some farmers from here to over here. That would probably work. But yeah, I think that's going to give us pretty much what we're looking for in terms of like getting everything off the field in time. Because the problem right now is it's not just that they're harvesting half the time here and then coming up here, but they also, if let's say if they work a field over here and they're living down here, they come and work and then they have to walk all the way over there. And by the time they get there, half the month's already gone. So their commute time is 15 days, apparently. So that's just not going to work. And holy crap, this sheep farm is collecting 620 per year with 3 employees. That's really good. Very, very good. Sheep are almost above 100. I think we'll probably start chopping them up when we get above 100. I think that's what we'll end up doing. 100, and then maybe we'll move it back a little bit each time. Or you know what, we could let it go over maybe to like 150, and then we'll start cutting them. We'll see. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and convert these guys over. Let's create a butcher shop and then also cobbler. We'll get them set up, and then we need 1 person in the tannery. So that's going to use up a little bit of our labor, but not a big deal because we do have a lot of people coming in. I also upgraded some of these. They're starting to come in. So let's do this. Make sure these guys are doing the right thing. So fisherman, we'll have to reassign him. So we'll get 2 from here, 1 from right here. Farmer, yeah, you're going to be a farmer over here. Where did we lose 1? Yeah, we lost 1 right here. That's fine though, because I'm going to reassign these guys anyways once these come in properly. Okay, so that looks good. These are still being upgraded, but they should be ready soon. And then, yeah, we'll get these guys set up properly. So the butcher shop. This guy can either produce mutton or sausages. I don't want him cutting up lambs, so we're going to keep the reserve and we're going to make it really, really high. Like, higher than we can possibly have. So I don't want him touching lambs. So I'm going to bring this up to 500. We can only hold 300, so that's never going to happen. Sheep, let's take up to maybe 150, and then he'll start cutting them up. We don't really need a production limit for meat. I don't care what that goes up to, so we'll just let that go. And then for this one, I don't really see a need to hold leather at all. So as soon as it's available, we'll turn it into a shoe. And then same thing here, there's no need to hold the hides. We'll just produce as much leather as we can. So these should be pretty much self-sufficient. We don't need to touch that anymore. And then we'll see some shoes start to pop up here. Right, we allowed shoes and leather. No, we didn't allow leather because we want it to go from one to the other right next door. So we don't need the intermediate. So just the final product, shoes, and we have 2 people working there. We might need another person in this large storehouse, but we'll see. So that looks good. We're almost there. 101 sheep with 68 lambs. So maybe 1 year, I think another year, and we'll have enough to start cutting them up. Now we did pick up some carrots. Let's see if we're actually getting them to market though. Yeah, we did, and it does count as a second source here. That's perfect. Okay, so that's how you solve that. So this is solved. Meats are solved, but not quite yet. We just need a little bit more time for the actual meat to come in. And then animal produce or fruits, we can definitely fix this. We just need to get some more burgage plots over here. And you know, I used to love doing the duplexes for these things, but now I feel like having just the singles is better because there's so many workers you have to worry about in here. I'd rather have to just worry about 2, make them a little smaller, have 2 people, and they can all go out and you know, work there, whatever. I was doing it before when you had the burgage plot that was like, let me see if I can actually get it to go. So like if you have a burgage plot like this where you just have one giant duplex and the backyard was like 500 to 1,000 average planning cost, then it kind of makes sense to have a bunch of people working there. But it doesn't seem like that's really necessary. Like you can have a whole neighborhood right here where there's supposed to be support staff. And so you can assign them to grounding workers and they'll still get all this stuff harvested on time. So I think in the future, I will not do duplexes anymore. It is good to have duplexes in the sense that you're not going to need as many people here in the marketplace. But that's not that big of a deal because like I said, we have a lot of spare labor. We have +8 right now and we have a lot more coming. And we have a lot of our industries maxed out. Like if you look at this, we have almost 9 people working in the weaver. We just pulled somebody off because we had to re-sign them. But yeah, we blew through all the barley. We don't need that many. We've already gone through and processed it all. That's overkill. This is probably not overkill just because of the sheer volume that we're producing here. But I think, all right, do we have 4 tailors now? We do have 4 tailors. So we should be producing a lot. Why are we only producing 20? I got to keep an eye on this and see what's actually going on because that's disappointing. We have essentially functionally an infinite supply of linen and it's directly across the street. These guys should not need to do much. Yeah, as of right now, there's only 2 people crafting. Everybody else is goofing off. So labor, transport, and waiting. I mean, that's a pretty fair split. It looks like they're being fairly efficient, but for some reason, not everybody, yeah, these guys are waiting. I wonder, are the duplexes broken for tier 3? That might actually be the case. Maybe this is not a good idea. No, see, even right now, they're all waiting. Like, what the hell are you waiting for? There's so much materials you could work with. And it's right across the street. I don't know. That's weird. I think I'm going to get away from doing duplexes. And then we'll just increase the size of our central marketplace or the amount of storehouses. Even if this is too much, we could always add some to the back right here. Like, there's room we could add more if we need more. So I'm not too worried about it. Anyways, that was a nice little tangent. Let's get back to work. All right, these guys are ready. Let's go ahead and reassign everybody here. So what are you doing? Farmer unassigned, and farmer malt house. Okay, we'll reassign him. Let's kick everybody out here. Just paid taxes, 1,400. We are making more than enough to cover that. Actually, I think we're making enough to cover the next tier as well. So right now, 1,400, that means we'd add another 7, so 2,100, and we're making 170 a month. So that's 1,700 plus another 3, so 2,000. It's basically break even. But I think as our regional wealth increases more and more, that 1% is going to add up to more. Like I said, we can't tax more because it's going to kill our income passive, the +1. And we're getting, how many families do we have? 70, 100. It would cost us like 100 and something a month, 150 a month, or not quite 150. Yeah, like 120. It would cost us 120 regional wealth per month if we lose that positive passive income. So definitely don't want to lose that. All right, we're getting ready again. Luckily this time, no harvest. Everything's good to go. So we'll deal with it. So I'm going to start working on rye up here. I know this year is not going to be a good harvest, but we'll at least get it going. All right, we've got a few more burgage plots up to level 3 and assigned to these new farming houses. We've got our oxen right next to them. These guys are only going to be farming in this area. I'll probably put a few more out. I just didn't want to overwhelm these guys for their first year. So we're heading into harvesting season in about 2 days. And then also sheep are pretty much there. We're at 141 sheep. So as soon as the next batch matures, then we'll start chopping them up, getting leather and shoes and all that stuff. Here we go, harvesting season. Let's see how well these guys do. So they're working on this area. They're working on this area. That's good. So everybody's assigned to a certain area where they should be. Yep, limited work area. These guys are coming down here. Perfect. What about up here? Everything's damaged, of course. I would expect nothing less. Now this guy needs to work up here. So let's make sure they're limited. There we go. So that should help some because now they're not going to have any overlap. These guys in the center can deal with all of this. I don't have anything planned for them, but let's at least get them some kind of direction. I think we got everything this year. Look at that. We still have, oh wow. We still have 10 days. Basically, we did everything. We harvested everything in like 2/3. So we could probably take on a few more fields or we just leave it. And then I guess now we'll probably expand it later. Okay, let's take a quick look at what we got. So 293 wheat, 469 barley, and 697 flax. 118 rye even, so we got some decent rye. Now, I have these on a 2-year rotation, so I'm kind of curious to see how well they're going to hold up. Still at 99%, so rye does not really drain that much. Maybe we can do it year round. This one's down 3%. Yeah, so probably not year round, but 1 year of fallow should be plenty. So I'm going to put some more up here once we clear some of these trees out, I think. All right, we're starting to get a little bit too much material here. So we've got 487 linens still to go. About 200 and something worth of yarn. We have 600 clothing, so we definitely need to sell some stuff off. Let's go ahead and have somebody work in the trade here. So close. Let's go and export. We'll open up the trade route for 120, and let's save up about 250. We'll sell down to that amount, hopefully. Gambeson is still doing okay. We're still selling down there, and then same thing, sidearms. So selling that. We're not really producing too much else. These are kind of on hold. We could try to sell some of these raw materials, so like the wool, maybe some of these other ones, linen and yarn. We're just getting way too much. I don't know. We'll see if we can keep it under control. Because what's going to happen is this thing's going to fill up, and then we're going to have a traffic jam in here, and then we won't be able to hold all the materials we need. So yeah, but we'll keep an eye on it. All right, let's take a look at what we've got here. So this is rye grain. Looking down here, wheat grain, mostly wheat grain. We haven't quite got the rye grain in. Did we not allow that? No, we allow it. They just haven't gotten around to it. I think they collect all of one type first, and then they'll get the next one. Got rye grain, wheat grain, rye grain. Where did all our rye grain go? Rye sheaves. So they haven't quite been converted yet. No, that's wheat. Where in the heck are... where's all our rye? There's a little bit right here. Yeah, there's some in here. It's just kind of spread out. That's really odd. So it looks like these guys came over here to help, but I have them set on a limited work area, so I don't know how they got out of that limited work area to go help. I'll have to keep an eye on that. All right, here we go. We're getting some meat now. So 10 in the last 30 days, and it looks like it's 2 to 1. So every 2 meat, we get 1 hide, and that hide is getting turned into leather, hopefully. Yep, leather. And that means this guy's producing shoes. Yep, we got shoes coming out. And the shoes should be ending up here, although that might be kind of tricky. I don't know if we're going to have enough space here because we have... Yeah, the shoes should be going here, but we have so much stock here. Where did these shoes go? I don't see them unless... Did they just get picked up? No, that's all wool. Where the hell are my shoes? All right, it's still showing... It's showing 0. Oh, come on, game. Don't do that. Don't do that, please. Let's keep an eye on them, see if they're just disappearing. Oh, we're getting raided. And they are directly on the map. Yeah, they're like directly on our region. So let's... we'll pause, immediately get these guys out. All right, they're coming down our main road. I don't know if they're killing people that are in the alleyways. They're getting shot at pretty bad, though. So we should be able to blast them right here. There we go. Yeah, they're getting funneled. Where's the other ones? Yeah, they're getting funneled again. And they broke in the... Yep, they broke before they even got there. So that should be it. Nope, there's another one over here. And these guys also are going to get shot up pretty bad. Oh yeah, they broke before they even got here. Now, there is a group up here that for some reason they're stuck. After I saved the game to get my kids to bed, and when I came back and reloaded, they were stuck. So I'm going to go clear them out. We've got our army here already, might as well just take advantage of it. I'm worried that they're going to get unstuck at some point, and then they'll come bounding through. All right, there you go. They decided to come off the line, so they're going to get shot up. Perfect. It's 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, and 4 down. No losses. So let's sprint back. All right, this is going to be very tedious, but I feel like I need to do it. So I'm going to pull everybody off. Everybody's coming off of everything. So I'm going to go through and get rid of all the workers, and then we're going to reassign them manually. This includes granary, storehouse workers. Everybody's coming out. So let me go through here and pick everybody off, and then I'm going to assign them manually. I want to make sure that I have the right number of people here, and then also making sure they're doing the right job. So like these guys all need to take any of the warehouse and some of the production stuff. So let me handle that real quick. There we go. So everybody's off. We've got 70 unassigned workers, and now we got to go back and replace them properly. So first priority is going to get all the granaries and storehouses occupied, and specifically with these burgage plots. So why don't we work our way north, and Is this guy able to do it? I feel like we had 2 in here, and I feel like that was probably enough. Because it looks like it's barely January, and they got everything out. So the amount of rye grain and wheat grain we have matches what's in this storage. So that means everything we own is in here. So that's good. And then same thing here. I think we had 1 or 2 families. These I kind of have an idea, but we can always add more because we have like 14 extra workers. So it's probably not a bad idea to just overstock some of these. But anyways, I'm going to go through and get these guys sorted, kind of show you. I know I've done this already, but see, everybody here is unassigned. So we're going to go through and just assign people. So you can take the granary, 2 granaries, and then maybe we'll just go kind of up and over. Well, no, we need to go 1 by 1. Let's do 1 industry at a time. So we'll do 2 to the granary, 2 there, 2 there. And then now we need to get these. All right, I'm going to go through this. It's going to take a while, so I'll be back. All right, there we go. I went through every single one of these guys down here and assigned them. We've got 15 laborers or 15 families available still. What did we not put families in? I did not really put a family in too many of the logging camps. I didn't put maxed out malt house and weaver's workshops. I don't think we need it. And I also didn't put anything back in this farmhouse because I do want to redo this. I'm also tempted to upgrade these and just shove more people in these warehouses. Just get a little bit more efficiency going. I mean, they're pretty efficient now. There's a little bit of barley that hasn't quite made it to this granary, and it's only January, so there's still time. But yeah, we'll want to make sure we do that at some point. And then also, my God, this thing is, we have so much yarn. Wait, why do we have, oh, that's where it all went. All right, we need to not allow yarn here. Yeah, I was wondering where, it says we have 600 or 800. We have 804 yarn, 252 wool, and it's clogging up this warehouse. So we'll try and get rid of it. Yeah, we need to convert it into a finished material and then sell it. Same thing with the clothing. We probably need to increase our production here. So if we can get some burgage plots. I remember doing it last time and it didn't let us. We weren't able to get, what do you call it? The back house, the extension. Yeah, we can get 1 with an extension. That's not really good. If we go here like this, we can get a duplex. This is a funky looking one, but I guess it's better than nothing. The other option, could do one facing this way. Yeah, we can get a duplex like this and then have some space for, maybe we can throw some more of these oxen. What do they call that? The stable. Could probably fit 1 or 2 there. Yeah, because we're not able to process this with what we have. We need more. We need a lot more. I thought this was going to be enough, but honestly, the amount of stuff that we're going through is kind of crazy. We could also increase our trading post and then just sell off some of those intermediate products. That's also not a bad idea. So like we could sell off some of the wool, or even better, just sell off the linen and the yarn down to a reasonable number. We could do that. We just need to increase our traders, which is not really a big deal. Now this is saying that we're producing shoes, but I don't see any. It's just disappearing. Let's keep an eye on it again and see what is actually happening in this chain. So 12, and then there, yeah, see there's a leather just got taken and it shows up here. Disappears, it becomes shoes, and then the shoes immediately disappear. Dude, come on, game. Why you gotta do that, man? Why you gotta do that? Okay, I don't really know how to fix it because we don't have anybody at this. Well, hold on. Do we have? No, they're not accepting shoes. So we should be able to do it right here, just like we did with these clothing. It didn't disappear. Man, I don't know. That's really frustrating though. Yeah, I've been watching this for a little while. It shows up. The shoes show up and then they disappear without anybody ever entering or leaving the cobbler shop. So I don't know where they're disappearing to, but yeah, the game's just eating them up. So that sucks because we were planning on using that to supply the garments to keep our approval up. And I would love to see what happens if you get to the very top, what kind of bonuses you get. But looks like that's probably not going to happen. All right, we're no longer able to hold the materials here. And we still have a bunch flooding this one. So yeah, we got pretty serious problems. For some reason, we're not able to sell through the clothes. I don't know if we're selling it quickly, like we're just not able to sell it fast, even though we're selling a bunch. So let's see, last 365. We sold 30. That's not that much. We should be selling a lot more than that. Yeah, we'll take care of that. Let's put a few more people in the trading post. And then why don't we open up the trade routes for those two? So over here on crafting. So linen, we will export, open up the trade. And we'll take this down to like 300 is probably reasonable. 250, maybe 250. Iron slabs we'll leave alone. Yarn we definitely need to get rid of as well. So let's open that trade route. 120 take this down to 250 as well. So we need to sell through a lot of stuff. Probably won't be able to sell it faster than we're producing it, but we'll at least start to limit it. We should also start selling some of our armor. I think the best value is going to be the helmets. So it's 3 per iron that you use, whereas mail sells for more, it sells for 8, but it's 8 divided by 3 instead of 6 divided by 3. Sorry, 6 divided by 2. Yeah, so you actually get more here. Now the trade routes are getting more and more expensive as we go, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and export. And I'm going to pull this up to 100. We'll sell down to 50. But instead of adjusting that, let's increase this up to 100. So we'll produce 100, we'll sell 50. There we go. A couple more items we can sell, and we should be making some really good money now. And I think 150 is way too high. I think there's a limit, actually. It seems like we're not getting more than 64 lambs at a time, and we're not getting more than 150 sheep at a time. Although maybe if I just turn these off or increase this to the max, we can see what the true limit is. Probably be a good idea, but I don't really want to do that right now. So I'm going to drop this down maybe to 120. So we'll pick up more food. Yeah, more food, more supplies. And then hopefully at some point this thing stops disappearing so we can actually have shoes. One final thing we could try is to delete the cobbler shop and then rebuild it and see if that helps. I don't think it does, but it's worth a shot. Because right now we're not benefiting from this at all. It's literally chewing through our leather. We're not getting any benefit out of it. But yeah, why don't we do that? Let's delete it. Here we go. Get that stuff off the floor. Okay, here we go. I rebuilt it. Let's reissue the cobbler shop extension, see if that helps. I don't have high hopes here, but fingers crossed. If it doesn't work, we'll delete it again. And then I guess we could just sell our leather. I don't know what else we could do with it. It's literally just sitting there doing nothing. So leather sells for a decent amount, I think. Yeah, 3. It's not that much. All right, here we go. We're producing shoes again. There goes, and it just disappeared. Did it disappear into our storage? Unfortunately, I don't think so. I think it just disappeared. Yeah, it's not on the market or anything. Oh man, that's so frustrating. That is so incredibly frustrating. Yeah, it's not. I sat here for a few months. It's still just being deleted. I tried adding a production limit. I could try adding a reserve. I don't think it's going to make any difference. So the best thing we can do now is, I think, just sell. We'll sell all the leather as it comes in. So we got to go in here and buy another trade route. This is going to cost 240. We'll open that one up. We'll trade down to 0. Now, we don't have a lot of storage space for this, so we could allow somebody to hold it. The problem is this one's full. This one, not quite. Yeah, this one's got plenty of room. We could allow it to go in here, but I think it's going to get drowned out by all this other stuff.